Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack and today we're going to play with my two solo grinders. DF64, named Solo in UK, and we put it against a Solo 38, known also as SPTK 38. We will pull 2 shots of espresso and we will also compare 2 pour overs, and by the end of this video I will try to answer the question which one is better, which one you should buy. If you're as excited as myself, as always, click like, subscribe to the channel. I will take you closer. DF64 Solo, very well known single dose grinder. Pretty much everybody heard about it. That's a flat burr grinder, 64 obviously millimeters item mill burrs. You can also upgrade to titanium coated burrs. But what's really nice about this grinder is that you can put different burrs, and we're talking here about those SSP burrs, and that makes a good grinder a great grinder. I put SSP multi-purpose burrs, but that adds up to cost. Everybody wants them, so it's not always easy to get them, and you pay almost as much for those burrs as you pay for the entire grinder here. The grinder itself weighs around 7 kgs. The power of this grinder 250 watts and RPMs 1400. In UK it costs around £400. I strongly recommend once you get it, to buy some of the mods. You can get some 3D printed mods, so one of them being that thing that brings the dosing cup closer to the chute, so saves you some mess. The other one would be the grind indicator, and inside here, as you can see, that's like a slow feeder and also anti-popcorning thing. Why do you need grind indicator here? Well, first of all, the grind indicator that is here, it's barely visible. And then let's assume that the 0 on the grinder is where the burrs are touching. Each grinder is different, but most people report that the 0 is well beyond the 0 on the scale. So that's a kind of a downside of this grinder, that out of the box it's good, but it needs some improvements. There are new versions of this grinder now, and I guess they addressed some of those issues. Solo 38 or SPTK 38, that's a conical grinder, and as you can see, there is a significant size difference. So it's smaller, shorter, it stands upright, much smaller and much lighter, 2 kg. This one is stepped grinder, so you have steps here. DF64 comes in many different colors. SPTK 38 comes in 3 colors. I mentioned there are conical burrs. There are 38 millimeters conical burrs, and in this version they are titanium coated. What the titanium makes to the burrs? Well, definitely increases the longevity of the burrs, that's for sure. Now, does it change the flavor? If you know for sure, leave the comments below. Power is just 30 watts and RPMs 160. Both are single dose grinders. Both comes with the catching cap. This one made out of some cheapish plastic. This one made out of aluminium. What I hate is that long electric wire. I don't like the fact that it is on the side. I don't like the fact that it comes with this big adapter that is almost as big as the grinder. In the previous video I mentioned it wobbles a bit, but it's because of that wooden stand rather than the grinder itself. Overall, I mean, simplicity, the way everything works out of the box, you don't have to modify much here. That actually works for me. If you are looking for a first single dose grinder and you don't want to spend much, or you are limited with space, this could be the grinder for you. For the price, I really like it. The coffee I'm going to use today is a St. Martin's coffee roaster. Have a look. And that's the coffee from Brazil. Tasting notes: chocolate, cherry and sugar canes. This coffee has been recommended to me by one of the viewers. If anything goes wrong, I will blame Daniel for that. So Daniel, we know where you are. 18 grams of coffee in, 36 grams of liquid out in about 35-ish seconds. We'll use what Decent calls best overall pressure profile. So that's how it looks like. So there will be that initial pre-infusion. Then the pressure will ramp up to slightly below 9. Then will be the decline of the pressure. Temperature will be slightly lower here, 88 degrees. So I will start with SPTK. 18 grams of coffee in. And that's the noise that SPTK makes when it grinds the coffee. And because it's a slower grinder, you have to listen it for longer. It took 35 seconds. Let's measure the retention. So you see 0.4 grams. Okay, but that's without using any bellows. So I will put it here. I will turn it on again. Have a look. And we've got 0.1 grams retention. I'm on the setting number 8 on SPTK. That will be my starting point today. 18 grams of coffee in for DF64. I'm on a setting number 10. Because there is that anti-popcorning slow feeder here, it makes the grinder a bit slower than it would normally be. So that's the noise. A bit louder. Took 25 seconds. 17.1. I haven't used this grinder for a while. I just purged it a little bit, but that could be the reason. So let's put it back. You see how much is inside? Okay, and we are bang on 18. You do need to use that bellow if you want to have near zero retention. If you use it daily, that retention will be much lower. But if you make a big adjustments, the setting adjustments, or if you haven't used it for a while, there is always a little bit more. Let's pull a shot from SPTK 38 first. If you are a fan of crema, there's more crema in this shot than anything else. I mean, it looks amazing. This is a medium coffee, and that's the difference. Look at that. That's the crema you can look all day long at. It shot took, what, 37 seconds. The flow of espresso, as you can see, there were some issues. I'm on a setting number 11.5. Smells of nuts, toasted nuts, chocolate, maybe chocolate brownie, kind of a sweet smells. Cheers. Definitely a very rich flavor, although I was expecting more body to the shot. There is a sweetness. There is a kind of a baked cake flavor. Chocolate, yes. More like a dark chocolate. Sugar cane, I mean, how does sugar cane taste like? The sweetness is there. Yeah, I like it. It's very deep. Slightly, I think it's slightly over extracted, but still enjoyable. There is that bitterness that it's not overpowering, but maybe we would like a slightly lower. Let's see what the refractometer says. 9.7. Oh no, look. Almost, well, 19.5% extraction, and it is kind of right in the middle where it should be. For me, there is that kind of slightly aftertaste of ash somewhere in the background that would, for me, indicate that maybe if I run it faster, the shot, maybe it would be better. Shot also looks nice, lots of crema, dark, rich crema, as good looking as the previous shot. it took 36 seconds, so comparable, but the flow of espresso was more in line. And yeah, I'm on a setting number 10. More almondy smell, definitely. There is still that chocolate brownie in the background. Cheers. Okay. I mentioned that I was expecting more body in the SPTK shot. Here is even less, but that's not a surprise. SSP multi-purpose bears are not well known for the rich body, but what comes with that is also the increased clarity. So the notes definitely sharper. Nice sourness, which pretty much wasn't there in the previous shot. I mentioned that ash flavor, that ash aftertaste in the previous shot. Here you don't have it. Sweetness and hints of cherries, but it's not something that it comes to mind immediately. I think we might lost a little bit of the chocolatiness. The SSP, they increased the fruitiness of this shot. There are some almonds in the background, again, some nuts here and there. Which shot should I choose? Well, both were good. If there was more body in SPTK shot, possibly I would go for that. But without the body and with that ashiness in the aftertaste, I think I will go for this one. I like this clarity in the shot, but you know, I'm not obsessed with the clarity. If the shot's got a good body and overall taste, I will still enjoy it. It doesn't have to be very clear, but I can definitely notice the difference in the notes being more present here. Let's see what the refractometer says. Looks like it will be a bit lower here. Yeah, slightly above 18, leans more towards that underdeveloped coffee. Okay, so first surprising results from this test. Some time ago I compared SPTK with Niche. I will put the links in the description, and the differences were more obvious. Here those two shots, I mean, different, but difficult to say which one is definitely better. And the refractometer is pointing towards SPTK. So let's do a pour over. And for the pour over, we will use Caravan Coffee Roasters from Guatemala, Maria Ramirez coffee from Guatemala. It's a light roast, better for the pour over. The tasting notes: cherry jam, melon, and soft caramel. Today I fancy Clever Dripper. 15 grams of coffee, 250 grams of water. So I put water first, then the coffee. I bloom it for 2 minutes, and then I extract the coffee. That's the coffee bed from SPTK. Not the best coffee bed I've ever had. Have a look. It's not the worst. Setting number 25, and it took precisely a minute to extract. That's the Wow, that's the DF64 with SSP burrs, and well, more even, definitely, but slightly muddy. Yeah, slightly muddy. I'm on a setting number 24. It took 10 seconds longer. 1 minute and 10 seconds instead of 1 minute for SPTK, but I think still comparable. I can detect some cherries aromas, not very strong. Yes. In terms of flavor, well, apart from that nice smell of cherries, coffee is very flat, difficult to taste anything. Hints of some fruits. I will check the refractometer first. 11% extraction. It's underdeveloped, under extracted. Even though it took that 1 minute I was aiming for. What I would do here, I probably would grind finer until I reach the spot that I like. So I know it can be improved, but for today I have to accept what I've got here. I hope this cup will be better. So that's the Clever Dripper from DF64 with SSP burrs. So that's like a 600 pounds grinder. So if this one is not better, Oh, I can smell the cherries similar to the previous one, but slightly more present, the cherry aroma. Yes, definitely better. But honestly, it couldn't be much worse than that. Was one of the worst cups I ever made myself. So, first of all, is that nice sweetness. I can taste more body here, possibly because the coffee bed was so muddy, so some of that went into the cup. But it's a kind of a nice texture of the coffee. Some like kind of a lemon flavors. SPTK today with the pour over definitely lost. This is okay. I don't know. Maybe I should change the ratio. Maybe I should taste the pour over first before I do the espresso test, because I'm expecting more of a boom of flavors, and here just hints here and there. When you compare those two cups, this tells you some story. Okay, might not be the best story, but it tells you something. The other one, it was like it was tasting like a dishwater. Let's see what the refractometer says, and then I will wrap it up. So, slightly better, 1.09. It still shows it like underdeveloped. Something that I'm doing wrong, I don't know. But anyways, almost 16% extraction. First of all, if you are still here, click like, subscribe to the channel. Plenty more things coming. As for the results today, in terms of the espresso, there were differences, and you could clearly feel difference between a conical and the flat burst. Difference between slightly more body versus more clarity. On a different day with different coffee, you might look for different things. So I always say, if possible, have two, have conical and have a flat burst. I mean, those high-end bursts, even if they are conical, they can offer clarity, but that's for another day. We're talking about the low and mid-range grinders. SSP bursts, they shine with the higher ratios, so more than 1 to 2, and they shine with lighter roasted coffees. Today I've used a kind of a medium roast. And that's why it's difficult to declare the winner. I enjoyed the shot from DF64 a little bit more. Now, pour over, that was a huge difference. So with the pour over, that SPTK Solo 38, that was a disaster. And I've tried few pour overs using the SPTK, and they're not great. It might be my fault, okay, that my recipe is not perfect, but I've tried a classic V60. Today we tried the Clever Dripper, and I'm not getting it. Even though the DF64 was not perfect, was far from perfect, but it was much better. You could taste some notes, the smell was better, overall satisfaction was much higher, and the refractometer agrees with me. Over what, 6% more extraction. I have to declare DF64 winner today. But if you are looking for a grinder purely for a espresso, or if you only drink, because you know what, if you drink flat whites or if you drink lattes, you won't taste the difference, especially with the medium roasted coffee. So then you may consider SPTK, but not for a pour over. And guys, if you have any of those grinders, let me know in the comments what do you like about them. Let me know if you have SSP multi-purpose bursts. Do you agree with me that they shine with the higher ratio and the light roast coffees? For today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack. This is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.